Hello again, welcome to another Swiggin Steve's Bargain Beer Reviews. Here today we have a beer by Wychwood Brewery. I'm displaying the Wychwood t-shirt, I'm going on Wychwood today. It's 3.8% and it's called Hot Cross Bun, so it's like one of these novelty beers that were brought out for Easter time. And you get them quite a lot. A lot of breweries bring out these novelty beers. At Christmas you get like Rosie Nosy from Bateman's, you get Wychwood do one called Bar Humbug, which is really nice. Badger do one that's still all year now called Poachers, which is really good. And then you just get these novelty beers that come out around about that time. A lot of them, unfortunately, aren't really representative of that time of year. They're just another batch of beers with a different label on. So it's just another production line that they've done. But it's a very similar beer that they already do. They might have tweaked it slightly and then they put another label on, which is disappointing. But one thing I'm going to proper salute to Wychwood is they're always trying different things. They're always doing weird and wonderful stuff. Hobgoblin, their best-selling beer, is the kind of thing you see abroad now. You know, like when you go abroad and you think, oh, I'll have a real ale abroad. It's either going to be London Pride or I don't know, Pedigree or something like that, and then or Newcastle Brown Ale, and you tend to get Hobgoblin, which is by far the best of those beers, by the way. So yeah, they do lots of different beers, experiment a lot, and this one's called Hot Cross Bun. So I'm presuming it's going to have something relevant to Easter, so maybe sort of cinnamony flavours or something, I'm not sure. Let's see what it says. Wychwood Brewery, Hot Cross Bun, bringing taste to Easter time. Yeah, it says the same on that side. Golden ale, no fluff. Nice little bit of artwork on the bottles. I'm not going to read all the back spiel afterwards. I don't want to spoil it for myself. Okay. Blooming heck. God, that is really strange. Very strange. Okay, so let's do it to there. So I can give it a little bit of a swish round. I can already smell loads off head. I don't really know what I'm smelling. It's funny smell. Blooming heck. I don't know where I'd categorise that smell. There's definitely cinnamon in it. Yeah, you can get in Hot Cross Bun, you're getting currants. If you imagine a hot cross bun when it comes fresh out of the packet and you smell it, it does smell just like that. It's incredibly sweet. Almost a bit of like a savoury smell coming from it. Like I don't know. Like cooked sauce, like a sausage smell or something, like pork sausage or something like that. It's a Marmite beer, this one, for sure. It's definitely a novelty beer. Before I go any further, I'll tell you how much I paid for it. Less than £1.99p. So you can't go wrong at that 99p. That's a strange beer. It's quite thin. I'll say that much. It's quite thin. I mean, it's only 3.8%, so it's not got much grunt. I'll talk a little bit about volume, actually, because a lot of people judge a beer by its volume. Should never do that, okay? A beer could be 8%, but it still tastes rubbish. I mean, I've had really strong beers before, and they're not very nice. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I've also had very weak beers that aren't very nice, but there's also beers like lots of mild beers, like Mans, for instance, and Banks do a mild beer, and they're like, what, 3.5, 3% sort of thing. And this tastes lovely, you know, it tastes really nice. So never judge a beer by its volume. The price sometimes affects, obviously. There's certain laws in place that mean that a beer of a certain volume has to be a certain price, or there's extra whatever. But yeah, never judge a beer by its volume, because you never really know what you're going to get. So I mean, 3.8 is a lovely session beer, so you can keep going on that all day. Anyway, back to this beer. I'm going to try. It's like almost like a perfumey smell that's coming off it, and a perfumey taste. Now, I like sweet beers. I have a massive sweet tooth, but I'm not sure about this one. I think the jury's out a bit. I don't know. It's not terrible on the taste. It's not terrible. It's almost quite you are getting a bit of a malty back taste on it. It's almost like they've used one of their beers, like a really thin beer, maybe like a really thin blonde beer or something, and then they've put some stuff on the top of it to make it taste different. I don't know what. Let's see what it says. This golden treat is from deep within Wychwood. Delivers a hearty dose of spicy cinnamon. Yeah, it's definitely got cinnamon with a faint hint of clove. Ah, that's the other flavour I'm getting. It's like almost like a really fragrant. It's very fragrant. This beer. bringing yeast to the taste buds. Brewed and bottled in blah 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 blah, and all that sort of jazz. Yeah, crazy flavour this. It's like Jackson Pollock's come along with his paints and decided to paint the inside of my mouth with lots of different colours, and nothing really it's like an explosion. It's crazy. It is crazy. It's a crazy drink, this, and they've obviously tried to do something really different. Would I drink this again? That's the question, isn't it? $1 million question. Would I drink this again? Probably, to try and understand it better. But maybe it don't really need understanding. Maybe it's just a novelty beer that they've brought out, you know. But that's what I like. That's what I hate the word craft beer, but that's what real ales are all about. It's all about trying new things. Trying new things. Why not? And Wychwood have got so many good beers, you know. So what if they do a beer that's a little bit dodgy? They've done so many nice stuff. They obviously attract that sort of. I mean, when you look at their artwork, it's like that looks like a bunny that's been like demonised. So it's kind of like this sort of rock and roll image, I suppose, they're going for. This sort of like guys that, you know, if you're one of these people at home that watches Lord of the Rings, you know, every Sunday, watches the full trilogy, you know, you're probably going to appreciate this beer because it's got all that sort of really quite gaudy artwork on it. No, I'm not so keen on the artwork. However, I do like the beers. But this beer, where would I put this? What would I give it as a rating? You know. Right. I'd give this a 6 out of 10. But I don't want that to cloud your sort of vision of Wychwood Brewery. I think I picked this up at Tesco's. I didn't pick this up at Bargain Beers, would you believe? I picked this up at Tesco's, who were flogging loads for like 99p after Easter had finished. So I think I would give this a 6 out of 10. I would try this again, I think. I would try this again. It's not something I'd bust my nuts to go and find again, but it's a good beer. It's definitely worth a try. It's just worth trying just to see if you can kind of work out. Hopefully, I mean, okay, so there's cinnamon and cloves in it. Maybe that is it. But yeah, it's a little bit thin. That's my criticism. It's a little bit thin. It's a bit watery, really. A bit watery, as we'd say in Rotherham. But yeah, okay. So if you'd like to add any comments about that beer, or you'd like to discuss it, or maybe say that it's a brilliant beer and I've completely got it wrong, or say that it's a disgusting beer and you put it as a 3. It's one of those. It's a Marmite beer, this. It's a Marmite beer. You're going to love it or hate it. Please do subscribe. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter. Thanks for drinking, and I will see you next time.